One of the most common questions we're asked is, how do you deal with base plans that come from an architectural firm? And here's one such example. If what's been done here is down in this zone here, let's swing a window around it. And before I do, part of the plan that came from the architect, which was in the form of a DXF or exchange file, is up on the top left, and our designers lifted some of it off and built the design on it. But they would like to register, if you like, put the contours behind. So what I've done, if I zoom in here to illustrate, it's a very good idea to find a convenient point, and I've marked the end of this little line here, and if we go back to zoom previous and then zoom extents, I'll zoom in again on this little area here, and we've got this is the point here. You see I've got a vertex there. So if I know that point there, if I make a block of this point, then I can place it and make the base point of that block sit there. Then I'll be able to bring it in and register things. So if let's again zoom a window around, our designer has developed this version. There's a path here, a summer house through there, and some interesting development of some meeting spaces in that zone. So if we created a block of what's come in from the survey firm, and we insert a block, we can insert a block in form of DXF and either retain it, which I think we should have done here but didn't, or explode the block, and that's what happened. So that block's still sitting in the blocks library associated with this drawing. So I can go up here to blocks, and there's one called contour. You may be able to see it here, and I've said display the base point, so you can see this block called contours has a base point, and it's I'm not sure if I can, no, I can't do a zoom extent here, but we can insert it into the drawing. So it should come in, and we won't scale it, or we'll just pop it in. And if I zoom out a little, you may be able to, should be able to see that here's the incoming contour plan, which is anchored at that point, and we know we want to put it on top of an existing point marker. Now, an existing point marker, you can snap to it if you like, or in this case, we put it at the end of a line, and we can do that. And now the block, the incoming contour block, sits behind it. And once that's done and you're happy with it, you can remove this, because this has all been broken up and takes a lot of space because there are polylines, as you see in there. So if we now go to a layout space, here's our developing layout. So we can now get rid of everything in this zone, like so, and erase it. I think I'd be inclined now to go to Tools and purge any unused objects. Got rid of a couple of blocks. We should be able to zoom extents, and must be something else outside of this zone. Just see if I can quickly latch onto it. And I can't. So we need to go into this area here. And we've got That's the contour. So that that marker is in the block, but we may be able to get rid of it by going Format, Point Styles, and take all of these off and just say None. With a bit of luck, it might disappear, and it did. So if we go back into here, we could print the drawing from this point. So it takes a little fiddling, but of course you now have the contours through here and can plan for shedding water off the path at an appropriate point, and we've got a much more interesting base to the drawing. So I hope that helps.